Welcome.
That was me sliding the microphone into place.
To the Two Tunes
podcast.
So, wait, what? The way that you said it was more like
Matt Berry.
Matt Berry? Who's Matt Berry? Do I know Matt Berry?
You know his voice.
Or like maybe like Damn You Dirty Apes.
Oh, like Heston.
Charlton Heston, but an imitation of Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
Heston.
Chuck Heston.
Chuck Heston.
You know what's funny? So I just finished this book. I read it in 2 sittings.
Must be nice.
It was that good. There you go. Nice.
Call back.
Yeah. So I haven't had a chance to read much, like in the last 6 months because of school and other things.
Yes.
But I read in 2 sittings this book by Meredith Willson, who wrote The Music Man, and it's his story of essentially the Music Man coming to be, from essentially like kind of conception to opening night and on Broadway. And it's really, really interesting. It's really fascinating. Sorry, by the way, that's going to keep happening because
death.
Well, probably. But I was off my allergy meds for 2 weeks so I could get an allergy test. And I'm like still suffering the lingering effects of that like a week later. So anyway, the book was really interesting. I really liked it. But in it, at one point he's talking about Rodgers and Hammerstein, and he references them individually, and he says about Oscar Hammerstein and Dick Rodgers, and I just was like, of course Richard Rodgers to his friends would be Rich or Dick or whatever, like a nickname kind of thing. You know, Charlton Heston, I've heard people refer to him as Chuck, like people that knew him, whatever. Like,
yes,
that happens. But like, there's certain ones you just don't think of. Like, it's just Richard Rodgers to me.
Yeah.
Never had I ever thought of him as Dick Rodgers or anything else other than Richard Rodgers. So it just was like, I don't know why that one just struck me kind of funny. And it wasn't even because it was Dick or whatever. It just was oh yeah.
That is a nickname.
But it's also like if somebody was talking about like when people talk about like Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
And they say like Bob.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
To me.
I agree.
Because again, like, I don't know him. He's Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Same with Robert Downey Jr. If somebody ever called him Bob or whatever like that one, which I don't know that people do, but like
they come up and be like, "Yo, RDJ,
Bobby." But there are just certain ones where like that person's name is what it is. You know what I mean? So that was just one of those moments to me that struck me a little weird. But yeah, that book was really interesting. I'm really, really glad I read it because it's not going to so I'm conducting that show this summer.
Yeah.
It's not going to inform anything in the way that I do things. But it's really neat to kind of know that and read that. So it was cool.
I'm reading a book by and about Kathleen Hanna, who was the lead singer of Bikini Kill. And
part of the Riot Girl.
Yes. And it's like her from elementary school up to, I'm not done yet, so I don't know when it ends, but probably like whenever she started Le Tigre.
Okay.
Or after that. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Do you like memoirs in general?
I have been lately.
Okay.
Memoirs and biographies. And I'm trying to find more that span more of the time when I was into the thing.
Sure.
So this is like, okay, I'm wasn't a Bikini Kill fan. Wasn't a Riot Girl, even knew about it really.
Until after the fact.
Like my knowledge of Riot Girl was a picture of Kurt Cobain holding his baby with it saying Riot Girl on his shirt. Okay. And that's it.
Yeah.
And I was actually having the conversation because I have a guitar student who's like really into that style of music. They're a lot young, like half my age. And I'm like, ooh, by the way, and they went away for a while, and then now like they're coming back, and I'm like, ooh, by the way, I have this book that I'll give you. And she's like, I already have it. I'm at this part of the book. What do you think of it? And there's just because like Kathleen Hanna is a feminist, and like I'm a dude,
right?
So it's like
dudes can be feminists.
You're right. But not to the degree of hating men.
Oh.
Where I don't think that Kathleen Hanna was that, but in the book, it's very much like, here are all the assholes I had to deal with. And there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
And even Courtney Love as well.
Sure.
Who's just like,
Yeah.
So, which they'd never met, and she punched her in the face.
Amazing.
Courtney punched Kathleen in the face.
Oh, boo then.
According to this story.
Okay.
Obviously, the story is Kathleen's side of it because it's written by her.
Yeah.
And I kind of want Courtney to have the same thing, and I want to read not of that story, but just like I'd like what, because I don't think Courtney Love is a good person at all.
No. I feel like if she wrote a book or whatever, she'd be like a kind of unreliable narrator.
Yeah, and it'd be like a tell-all as well. Like I'm just gonna spill all this.
Like I'm gonna spill this stuff, but I'm gonna not say this stuff. And like she would,
where I mean, if she was, I think that I mean, this is going off on a tangent from the book, but I think like Courtney Love's problem is drugs.
Yeah.
And if she was clean and sober for a really long time, she'd have a different perspective on things. And then if she wrote that, it's like, yeah, I've been clean and sober for 20 years, but I don't know if she's lasted that long or whatever. So the only thing that's out there as far as a book from her perspective or from her is her diaries, which are obviously going to be just like, shit talking.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no one's going to read this until I sell my husband's.
Right.
And then I'm going to do my own because I made money. But yeah, that's what I'm reading, and also taking classes, and school's ending. It's awesome. So we went to a show.
We did.
On Thursday.
Wait, before we do that, I have two memoir, a memoir and a biography to recommend.
Okay, go.
One, and these are people that I have no relationship to.
Okay.
I just picked up their books because, I don't know.
The covers
I was
look
intrigued.
Cool.
No, I just was like, oh, yeah, that guy. So one is John Lurie, Lurie.
Okay.
He was the founder of the band called the Lounge Lizards.
Okay.
Who are a sort of jazz, punk, experimental, did all kinds of stuff. So it's his memoir about just life in New York and other stuff at the time that he was doing all the things he was doing, because he was also an artist, and so that was really interesting. And then there's a biography of Mike Nichols, who was a performer and then like a director and an actor and different stuff. His biography, which is just called like Mike Nichols: A Life. Really interesting, and like I was really into it. And again, like someone whose work I'm kind of familiar with, but not all that much. It wasn't like, oh my God, that person that I've idolized and loved, and now there's a book about them, whatever. So those are just two that I kind of picked up on a whim and just really, really enjoyed. So I would recommend those to folks.
Cool.
So anyway, I just want to put a button on that.
Since we talked about books, keep them coming. So we went to a show. Yep. It was Frank Turner.
His show, 2,881.
Yeah.
And for me, my fourth Frank Turner show.
Only my second.
Yeah.
Not as good as the first one.
Excuse me. No?
No. And I don't blame him. I blame myself. And you.
Me?
Yeah.
Why? Because you came to the back?
Because I moved to the back. Like I was
didn't have to move anywhere.
I didn't have to, but I decided I'm going to go hang out with my friend.
Yeah.
So I went to the back, which was another experience because I didn't realize that like, oh, the soundboard and the light board are on the floor. And I kept like looking back and being like, this is the best seat in the house technically, because like that's where the sound's coming from. Yeah. But like I kept looking back and not paying attention. And then, it just seemed like, oh, there's things that I missed things where the first show, like, I don't think I missed anything because of like where we were and like I could see. And then this was like, I was just kind of like looking at people around. Ooh, I have a story.
we were a little too far back for my liking.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, it was
all the way
it was
back.
my the reason I was in the back is because I was rushing over from our band banquet.
Yeah, you missed the opening act.
I missed the opening act entirely, and I heard the first two songs
from the parking lot
as I was changing clothes and running across the parking. Not running, I was walking briskly. Across several parking lots to get to.
Apparently, there's 5.
As I described it, I parked in a lot that I did not know existed, which was past another lot that I did not know existed.
Yeah.
Because I've never been that late to a show, at least there before. So we were in like the back. And for those that have not been to XO Live, like when you're in the back, you're actually just next to the bar.
Yeah.
So that was the real problem, is where we were in proximity to the bar.
Yeah.
Like if that bar was back another 10 or 15 feet,
yeah,
fine. We would not have been kind of
everyone passing.
Not
us.
that we were getting bumped into, but yeah, just everybody passed. There just was traffic the whole time. So,
so while I was waiting, or like for the show to begin, I'm just standing there by myself because I went to the show by myself until you showed up. And there was this guy and this girl, and I don't know why, but they just started talking to me. It's like, is this your first? Okay, so the first question that I heard was like, is this your first show? And then I laughed, and I'm like, no. And then they meant Frank Turner, and I was like, oh, I saw him last year. And then like I had this conversation with these people, and it was like a long conversation, and it was looking like this old, like white beard, white haired guy with his younger girlfriend. And he was a teacher in
were they like
Reading.
Hey, we saw you from across the bar. We like your vibe.
Kinda. And then
do you want to come to Savannah's with us after? We got a private room.
Kind of felt that way, but not really.
Us and you and Cinnamon.
So then the girl goes like, I've never been here. I want to go like walk around. So I'm just talking to the guy. He's a teacher from Reading.
Okay.
Reading Middle School.
Okay.
So like I said, I do this. And he's like, old curmudgeon white guy teacher. Like just seemed like, I've been doing it for 22 years. And it's like, you don't look like you've been doing it for 22.
Yeah.
You look like you've been doing it for 40.
50, yeah. Jeez.
And then I'm assuming his girlfriend comes back and is like with popcorn. He's like, you want some popcorn? I'm like, no, I'm good. And then he's like, do you want some gummies? And I'm like, no.
Oh, nice.
And then he's like, they're actually CBD. And I'm like, okay. I still don't want them.
Yeah.
Whatever you're offering. And he's like, then like I felt like I had to talk to these people.
Yeah.
So I wanted to tell you about that.
Nice.
And then what I thought was really cool was there was this girl in front of us. Did you see the girl with like her two kids?
Oh yeah.
And then the one kid was blind.
Oh, I didn't see that he was blind.
Yeah, he was blind. And I was like, that's so cool.
I did not see that.
Like, yeah, that's exactly like you should go to concerts.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I did notice her because I was like, oh, that's cool. Your kids and just hanging out. And like
Yeah.
the one kid was like jamming. The kid was like 4.
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
jamming out or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I, as the single guy there with my married friend and my other 2 married friends, I said,
mom.
I said to Mike and Jessica, I was like, okay, so my 2 choices are
The bartender.
Who's probably like 25, and then single mom with her kids at the show.
You're assuming she's a single mom.
She didn't have a ring on.
I wasn't checking rings because I'm in a different.
That's a single guy thing. Yeah, you check for the rings, but
Older single guy, younger single guy. You're just like, I don't care.
Yeah, does it? I mean, I cared, but in general, yes.
Yeah, because if you're like 21, like you're like everyone here is single.
Yeah, just anything that moves is generally what they.
Yeah,
yeah. But no, it was a good show. I didn't enjoy it as much as possible, only because I just like felt frantic.
Yeah. You had a busy day too.
Crazy. Well, yeah, just school and then right to the thing and whatever. But it was still good. I still really enjoyed it. I still have not listened to his new album. That'll probably be a plane ride or like airport listen for me because I'm headed to Kansas City next week. And yeah.
He played a lot of songs off that.
Yeah.
The first song
and like the 3 or 4 singles that I had listened to, which I'd like, I enjoyed those and whatever. So
yeah.
His I also don't listen to him enough to like know lyrics.
Oh, I don't know any song.
I know some. There's like some I'm like, yeah, I can sing this part.
I know that do. The do. It's the single off the new record.
Oh, okay.
Or one of the singles.
Yeah.
And the girl at the record shop.
Yeah.
So the first time I saw him, like everything was new, and this time he's like, oh, he's pulling the same banter.
Oh, he does a lot of stuff. Well, he does the like his rules.
Yeah, well,
his show rules.
That makes sense, right? Because it's like I got 2 like we're gonna set the precedent of like what this show is gonna be. But the one that he talks about his wife. It's probably like setting up a song that's about his wife.
It
is. It's like, and she's not here because she's an independent woman. And she can do what she wants.
Although she was there
like 2 or 3 times ago.
Yeah, she has been at a show that he's in like a Harrisburg show. I mean, yeah. Might have been the acoustic one, which was the first time I saw him, which is still my favorite one.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's primacy bias or just like I really dug that.
Yeah,
it was him on acoustic guitar, and then Matt Nasir on acoustic guitar and mandolin and different things.
Cool.
So it was like a cool way to experience his music. I still like him live better
Then recorded.
Yeah, it just doesn't
Okay.
hit the same. Like I like his stuff and I will listen to it. It's just the live thing.
All right.
Yeah.
So the reason that we're talking about this show so in depthly is besides that is good.
Yeah.
The first artist that we're going to talk about was the opening act or part of the opening act.
Yeah. So
it's kind of weird because like they're all. I don't know if it's they, them, or he or she or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know what their pronouns are, so I'm just going to say
Micah Schnabel, though, right?
yes. So Micah Schnabel, I think it's all their songs, and then the other person, which I'm already drawing a blank on what their name is, was just like backup vocals. It was just acoustic guitar and vocals, and then sometimes the vocals weren't into the microphone.
Like the other person wasn't in
No. Like Micah
Micah
would come in front of the microphone and like say these things, and it was like pure poetry, and it was great.
Okay.
Like the lines, and you weren't there for this.
Correct.
So, like a lot of the lines that to the lyrics or the lyrics were super poetic, and you could just recite them and they'd be cool.
Yeah.
Instead of like, let's sing it to this. Also, while I was listening to them play, I was like, I wonder if this could be like, what would I do if I was to record them? And then would want to add drums in this, like, but like maybe I want to get like just acoustic in their vocal and like make it raw or whatever. So I was wondering like what is going to do this? And then like one of the songs just kind of hit me and was like, that's the song that I'm going to play on the podcast. That's the one, which was this.
Well, that was
33
because I asked you at one point how was the opener, and you're like, "Well, I'm going to talk about him on the podcast," and I was like, "Okay, so you liked him, yeah?"
I did, but then what's really funny is I didn't actually. I mean, I listened to some of the record, but I didn't listen to this song from the record.
Yeah.
So my memory of it is just from the show, the one time I heard it.
Yeah.
Until I listened to it right before we started recording, and
I'm just trying to find like a little bit more info.
Yeah.
This one article is using he, him pronouns. So
Okay.
I don't know.
But seems cool. Seems like right up the alley of any person that's played in front of Frank Turner.
Yeah, when I put the song on, I was like, "Oh yeah, this works.
Yeah,
this is a good."
And then also reminds me of Homeless Gospel Choir / Derek Zanetti.
There's a few things that it reminded me of, like not directly, but like hearing some different things.
They're from Columbus, Ohio. So, and they're on tour currently with Frank Turner. And then I know that like Derek, our friend of the podcast, who was Homeless Gospel Choir. Homeless Gospel Choir is no more. It's just Derek now.
Okay.
They were at the Pittsburgh show, so they all hung out. Anyways, this song is called 33 or number 33 Dryer. I dug it because of the chord progression. It's very predictable chord progression. You're like, oh, I know exactly where it's going. But it's like, it just seemed cool. I don't know what really struck me from the concert itself. Like, why is like this one was the one that I picked?
Yeah.
Because it was like a week ago. But then there's another one, I think that's called like Christian Band.
Yeah, the article I just pulled up, it was kind of focusing on that song as like the entry point.
The song is really interesting, and
I actually am like, I want to listen to that song now based on just this little thing.
What did they say?
So it says, this is like the opening of the article. On Christian Band, which lands early in The Clown Watches the Clock, the exceptional new album from Micah Schnabel, the Columbus musician sings from the point of view of a milquetoast religious rock band content to dull both itself and its messaging because, as Schnabel puts it, people will pay you money to not make them uncomfortable.
Yep.
And then it dives in from there.
And there's a line and in that of like
here's a lyric I like, which is apparently from the song Real Estate.
Okay.
How am I supposed to write love songs under these conditions? I like that line. That's good.
But in that Christian Band song, there's like the lines. I don't know exactly, but here's the gist of it. It's like they were playing a Stone Temple Pilots song, but with different lyrics. And I didn't know that was legal. And like that's kind of the delivery as well. And it's like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things, like one of them was the pre song banter was like, so I went to, and he has a very distinct
speaking voice or way of speaking or both?
Yeah, like
maybe?
cadence.
Oh, sure. Uh-huh.
I was just like, yeah, so I went to the dentist and they told me I had to get a root canal and it was going to cost me $3,400 and I don't have $3,400. So then it goes through. But then the other person was the one who kind of sang like this bridge part, which is just spoken, like what is it? Like slam poetry type reading of things. And it's like, oh, the one of the lines is like, and you have your mouth fist or finger fucked by whatever. Cause like, it's like, that is what's happening when you go to the dentist.
Kind of, yeah.
So here's number 33 Dryer by Michael Schnabel. Micah
Schnabel.
That's not it.
Nope.
This is it. It also reminds me of like Bruce Springsteen.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like candy machine. Just lower the voice.
Yeah.
A double twist for a sticky fist.
Yeah, it's very poetic.
Yes.
Like when you said they were kind of doing poetry almost in like the live setting, like I 100% could see that. Yeah. It's all just very storyteller like.
Yes.
Exhausted.
Also, have you, other than like in college, have you ever like been to a laundromat?
No.
Okay. And even in college, maybe not.
No.
Okay.
I lived at home.
Fair enough.
When
But
I
I was
went
gonna say,
to
even at college, like there's a laundry room in your dorm, but like it's not the true experience.
Yeah.
Like I've been to a laundromat too much in my life, and like I was like, yeah, there's a lot about this song I get, you know.
Yeah.
We'll try your clothes in half the time. We swallow these sorrows, try again tomorrow with nothing but
I like how the second vocal, which I think is just him, is not lined up at all.
Yeah. And also like I'm looking at the lyrics and they don't line up.
Oh.
Like they're changed.
That's funny.
On the orange plastic chair, think of home and close your eyes. The lady behind the counter does not.
And that part, it's like it's not really sung. It's like, and the lady behind the counter.
Yeah.
To dream sweet.
Also, kind of has a Bright Eyes vocal thing to it.
Nameless. Watch the lives of the famous on the mounted TV screen. No one wants to be dirty. We just want to be seen. We can't be rich, and so we settle for clean. Well, number 33, try it. If it doesn't catch on fire, we'll dry your clothes in half the time. We swallow these sorrows, try again tomorrow with nothing but our lives on the line. Now me, I fold my costumes quietly, like my existence
That chord.
is a felony.
And it's kind of predictable a little bit, but it's awesome.
All this unrequested intimacy as the bell dings
Right.
on the front door. Un momento, por favor. Number 33, try it. If it doesn't catch on fire, we'll dry your clothes in half the time. We swallow
The organ is awesome. Way in the back.
try again tomorrow with nothing but our lives on the line. We swallow these sorrows, try again tomorrow with nothing but our lives on the line.
Yeah, I dig that. I'm sorry I missed them. I would have liked to
Yeah.
have heard them. I was underwhelmed with the openers the last time we saw Frank Turner. So, and like with anything, you're there to see the headliner. So like I'm not a person who makes it a habit of missing the openers, but it was just a thing of like, well, I cannot be there, so I'm gonna do my darndest to get there in time for
Frank
for Frank Turner.
I'm going to a concert tomorrow, and technically I am there to see the opener.
And fair, and that also is a thing. You know what I mean? Like
I'm also there to see the main the headliners. I'm definitely not there to see the main support.
Okay.
Or at least what I think is the order of things.
Okay.
So the opener, and from what I know, is Our Lady Peace, Canadian band we've had.
Oh, this is the Bush show.
It's then the headliners are Bush, and then the main support is Daughtry.
Oh yeah.
I don't know any. I mean, I probably
do. You know Home. You know that other song. You might know a third song.
I think you told me that. It's like, yeah, I'm going to Bush. I don't know any Daughtry. He's like, you know some Daughtry.
You do. You know Home for sure.
Okay.
I'm coming home.
Yeah.
And then the other song, and then probably a third song.
And it's going to be Caprica's first concert.
There you go.
And her cousin, Lily, my eldest niece.
There you go. Hope they
first
enjoy
concerts. And
hope you enjoy it.
I will.
Where's it at?
At the
Penn National.
Yeah. Which I think it's outside.
Like.
Well, first off, I think they bring in a stage and then they put up seats.
Okay, that seems.
So I don't think it's going to be.
Is it at the race course?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's
like horse racing. For people that don't know, it's a horse racing course. Like,
yes.
Interesting.
It wouldn't be a track.
Yes, probably racetrack. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Either way, it's where they race horses.
Yes.
So they would have some seats. Are you in those seats?
No, I don't.
Do they put up more seats?
I think
you're gonna have to look.
Because I looked up at a bunch of pictures because I'm like, what is this? And then you look down at an aerial map and there's not an amphitheater here.
Right.
So I think it'll be interesting.
But also the casino's there.
Yeah.
And they have shows inside.
Yes, a different venue, smaller venue.
Yeah. Interesting.
This is the outside one.
Word.
And I'm looking, and yes, it's going to be a high of 80 tomorrow. So I will be good, and maybe some cloud cover. It should be a good time. Going to see Our Lady Peace for like the 10th time. I've seen them a lot, so. And Caprica knows none of their songs.
Nice.
And I've tried to play, and they're like, nope. Can we? Oh, we'll talk about next week.
Okay.
Or 2 weeks, from 4 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that.
Whatever.
A while from now, I got a song.
Okay.
Yeah. Magic Man.
Magic Man. That's me. So, do you know the band Newcomers Club?
Nope.
I did not know them until recently. They have an album and an EP. This is their album from like 2018. The reason I found out about them is Sammy Ray, who everybody knows I'm a big fan of, friend of the podcast, Sammy Ray. They have an album coming out, like their first like official album. They've had 2 EPs. They have a live album. Now they're having like their first studio album coming out. And somebody was like, I don't remember if it was in the Facebook group or like a Discord for them or something. Somebody was like, oh my gosh, like how far they've come since Newcomers Club and then this. And I was like, what's Newcomers Club? And I looked it up and it's like, oh, that's a band that Sam Bowers, aka Sammy Ray, was in.
Oh.
So the like female voice you hear is Sammy Ray.
Nice.
And then I listened to this album and was like, oh, this is really good. Like I really like this. There's songs I like more than others, like most things. And this is one of the ones that I really liked. Obviously, that's why I'm bringing it here. But they remind me of like Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Cool.
They remind me of like Civil Wars and like
nice,
just different things like that. So yeah, I dig it. Just want to get into it. I don't know much else about them. Their bio on Bandcamp is hella short and just says Newcomers Club is a harmony-focused folk rock group from NYC with roots in New England. Done.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now I remember. This is Hadestown.
Okay.
Like this is what Hadestown sounds like. Because I'm like, oh, this would be great.
Yeah.
Have you?
I still haven't. I'm not going to listen to it until I see it.
Okay.
Myself blinded by the light of the sun.
About a year ago, it was like last summer, I listened to what's that one Crosby, Stills and Nash album? Because they're like a band that like I've never really listened to. Like I know, like you know the sing, you know what I mean? Like Crosby, Stills and Nash, they were around forever.
Yeah.
And what the heck song is it? Or album is it? I don't know. There was one of their albums that I like finally listened to. And I was like, man, this is so good. Why did I never listen to this before?
One of yours is meant for me to see.
I don't know which one it was, but anyway, it gives me those vibes of like those good harmonies and and then that one Civil Wars album that like everybody had and listened to like reminds me of that a little bit too. It also like to me knowing Sammy Rae's music and different stuff like makes total sense that she would be a part of a group like with such like intricate harmonies and different things like that like
Gave me back my vision, but I never found my sight with the dawn. I moved along, having walked a distance in the terracotta heat. Stopped a while to ease the aching in my feet.
I like that line about the terracotta heat.
Okay,
it's good.
Sweet and mild.
Membership, by the way, on this album: Jeff Lynne, John Roach, Mike Gannon, Mike Vecchione, Ronnie Lanzalata, and Sam Bowers.
I want them to have like 3 singers or 4. So those
they do have 3.
I don't really.
There's 3 singers: Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
No, I'm talking about this.
Yeah,
Newcomers.
Yeah. But that was a joke.
Stupid. And there's 4 for there. And Young.
Well, yeah.
But this, like where they go. I only hear that. You only do like 2.
They do 3.
But then the third is like the other person again.
There's 3 people.
Is there?
Yeah, you can hear 3-part harmony throughout, like when they were singing.
Maybe their voices aren't
because you can
distinct.
hear them. I can hear them.
Well,
Sam's in the right channel.
A ton more than I have.
Well, Sam's in the right channel. Somebody's in the left, and then somebody's more center. You can pick them out.
Oh, that it's a Telecaster, I bet.
Yeah.
I like that tone.
Imagining this song live, like you could just extend this part out forever.
And then add Neely on bass.
You can't hear the 3 parts?
I mean, I can hear it here. But that person is like far away.
Well, not the person that's not that person. That's an extra thing. What's that instrument?
A vibroslap.
Yeah. Go back. Go to like one of the verses, like early on. You can't hear all 3 parts? She's on the right, very clear.
Oh, I hear 2.
And then you hear the 2 on the left. The upper voice. Go back a little bit into the verse. Like the low male harmonies in the left, Sam's in the right, and then the upper, the like melodies up, maybe like above your left eye.
I don't hear it.
You're missing out, man.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's there the whole time.
But it's I don't know.
You're hearing mysterious pops and clicks.
I
think that's your problem.
so mad about that. For those who don't know, like I got a note about this thing that I'm doing in my class, and it's like what concerns me is like the pops and clicks, and I'm like, okay, well I'll go back and I'll fix it, and like,
spoiler alert, there's no pops and clicks, but play it for me.
And it's also all MIDI information, like everything is MIDI.
Right.
It's like, so it would be like, oh, it would be me pushing things too hard, and it's like I don't hear any pops and clicks.
Yeah,
I do hear that.
do you hear that? Yeah,
that's not going
that's
away.
funny. So yeah, I don't know that Newcomers Club exists anymore. On their
Probably not. Considering that she's out.
But I don't know how much, how much involvement she had.
Yeah.
You know, was she a chief songwriter? Was she just a third singer kind of thing? Like I don't know. So it's mostly like the pictures you see are like two guys.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming those are the other two singers and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. But I dig it. I like that one album that they have.
It's cool.
I haven't listened to the EP, but
I dig that song.
Yeah.
And with context, it's better that it's Sammy Ray.
Okay.
It's like more kind of like to get more. But yeah, I hear
You're like, that's my friend.
That's my friend. I don't really know Sammy Ray. I wish that'd be awesome. Anyways, that's our two tunes.
Cool. See ya.
It's our,
thanks for listening.
Yeah, go listen. Oh man, that's really super compressed.
Cool.
Your song.
Yeah.
Like super compressed. It's just like a big brick. Mine's weird though as well. Anyways,
like, subscribe, follow, share.
Discord
it all.
All's in the description below or wherever you get this thing. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies. Music in the Park.
Music in the Park. Bye.